The other day, I read the book Wacky Wednesday with my 3.5-year-olds. If you have never read the book Wacky Wednesday with a 3.5-year-old, I implore you to go and find one to read it with right now, because it is an experience unlike any other. I read this book. If you don't know what this book is, it's a very simple concept. It's a Dr. Seuss book written under his other pseudonym, Theo Lesage. Fun fact, that's actually just Dr. Seuss, if you didn't know that. If you have other books, if you know books by Theo Lesage, and you're like, that's another guy, it's not. It's just Dr. Seuss. So it's another book written by the Dr. Seuss, where each page, something wacky is happening. It's called Wacky Wednesday. It starts with like a girl waking up in her bed, and she's like, it all started with that shoe on the wall. A shoe on the wall shouldn't be there at all. And then there's a shoe on the wall, and she's right, it shouldn't be there. That's wacky. And then each page, something else, is another scene from her life, and more things are wacky. And on the page, it tells you how many things are wacky. And in the illustration, it is the reader's job to find the wacky thing. That's the fun of it. It's a very fun, simple book. My kids, the things that they find wacky, that they deem wacky, and they deem normal / acceptable, are stunning. They are stunning. I will give you an example. We get to the page where it's the kitchen. She's in the kitchen, and she's like, I get to the kitchen, and 4 more things are wacky. I don't know, there's some clever rhyme. And the fridge, for instance, the refrigerator has it has pegs, that it's standing on, and 3 are normal fridge pegs, and one of them is a bug. It's like a cockroach or a beetle or something holding it up. And I in my simpleton brain thought, that's pretty wacky. That's wacky. So we're reading, so we get to the kitchen scene, and I was like, anything wacky here? And they go, nope. And they go to turn the page, and I said, hold on a sec. Let's just hold on a minute. Let's just look at let's look at the page. Let's explore. Let's see if we see anything wacky. Let's scan the page together. So we're scanning, and then we get to the fridge, and one of my kids goes, oh, that's wacky. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's wacky? What's wacky here? And she looks in the center of the fridge, the illustration of the refrigerator. In the center of it, there's like an embellishment of some kind. It's a circle with a little plus sign in it. It looks like you'd recognize it as standard fridge logo. I don't know. It's very normal. It is like just part of the drawing of the fridge. And my kid goes, oh, Mommy, there shouldn't be a window in the middle of the fridge so that a mouse can live there and sell its bread. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, my other kid goes, yeah, the mouse can't live there and sell its bread from inside of the refrigerator. And I was like, oh, so the mouse lives there in the refrigerator? And they're like, well, she shouldn't. And I was like, oh. I was like, what though? Like, no, go back. And she was like, well, if the window is there for the mouse to live inside of the fridge and open the window and sell its bread, that's so wacky. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that is pretty wacky. And then we went down. I was like, what about these? What about the legs? What do you think? And one of my kids goes, oh, yeah. And she points right at the bug. And she goes, that is wacky. And I was like, oh, yeah? And she was like, yeah, because that bug would have nowhere to hide from the mouse. So it shouldn't be there. And I was like, what? Now the logic was starting to, I was already in it, and the logic was bumping me. I was like, wait. And she goes, well, the bug has to hide there because the mouse is about to come out of the window, and then when the bread comes out, the bug is going to have nowhere to go. And I was like, oh, that does make sense. So is that normal or is that wacky? And she says, that's normal. She says it like that, like I'm an idiot. And she was like, the mouse shouldn't be selling its bread. It threw an open window. And I was like, I think I do have to turn the page. That didn't happen. What did happen is that we talked about the mouse, the lore of the mouse in the fridge for about 10 minutes. And then she had to pee. And then one of my kids told like a 5-minute story about why the bug was scared and we should help the bug. And it was crying. I think it was actually like sweating because it was like, holding up the fridge, but she was really concerned for this bug's safety. There was like this on every single page. There was something like this. There's a scene. There's a picture, a man and a fish. There's a lake, but the fish is fishing the man. The fish is, and there's like a man, in the little lake. And they were like, that is so wacky. And I was like, why is that one wacky? And they were like, because that man's favorite color is magenta. Because the fishing pole was like blue or something. They were like, his favorite color is magenta. That is so wacky. That the fish would try to be fishing with a color that's not his favorite color. So I urge you to go find a 3.5-year-old and read this book immediately, because it will change everything for you.